So Miles Morales is getting another new costume. I don't know how long he'll keep this one. I think Marvel is literally making these so that they have reasons to give the video game DLC suits. This is perhaps the funniest one yet, because if you notice here on his chest and the way this cloak he has on works, it's a giant M. It's a giant M for Miles Morales. I don't know if that was intentional or an accident, but it looks like a giant M. And you have to wonder if people will finally be convinced that he's Spider-Man with a giant M on him. It's not a very good costume. Looks bad for a spider character. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. He's donning this to work with Blade, I guess. I don't know what the details are. I'm not reading this comic. I don't care. I just thought this was an awful costume and not really helping by putting M on the front. Just saying. So that's not the main topic here. What I want to talk about are their comic book sales. If you're not aware, Marvel's trying to pump up the X-Men again. They've had this long run where all of the X-Men are living on the island nation of Krakoa, and that's pretty much the gist of it. They're trying to build their own nation, and of course humans don't like that, and some human group called Orca or something came in and killed a whole bunch of them. I'm not following what's going on. It's called The Fall of X. I was reading the X-Men run, but the problem with this run is all the books talk to each other. Now, in case you don't know what that means if you want to read Wolverine and just X-Men, you won't understand what's going on because you need to read 13 other books that happen in between those two books to get a full understanding of the story. And the problem is, while those two books might be good, the rest of them are shit. They let like Tina Howard and all these other people come in and pretty much tell whatever story they want to tell. And you have to read those to understand what's going on in the good books. And it's tiresome because I don't want to read your self-insert LBGT mutant fantasy romance eating in a diner book, which is what most of the Marvel writers write about anymore. They don't know how to write about anything other than strange romance between Beast and Iceman, even though they're not really hanging out, I'm just saying. And then they go and get coffee at a coffee shop. That's like the main story for just about 70 to 80% of all of Marvel's comics. So you have to read the garbage if you want to read the good books. It's awful business plan, and I quickly jumped ship as soon as I noticed how bad most of the books were, which didn't take me very long. It's unfortunate because the ones by Jonathan Hickman were really good. But he's not even involved anymore. He left. So when this happens, a lot of people dump their subscriptions. And as this store says right here, Comic Book Store Pulp 716 reports dying numbers for Marvel's mutant titles. About 58% of our X-Men subscribers have canceled their X-Books in the past year. Not surprising. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably the same at every comic book store. That would be my guess. Because a lot of these books are really, really, really bad. Really bad. Like the Iceman book. It's pretty much just a gay rom-com book with Iceman. That's it. That's the book. I'm not even kidding. I'm not joking at all. And you say, well, I just won't read that book. Okay. Well, then you're going to miss out on big plot twists or something like that they'll reveal in one page that if you hadn't read that book, you'll be completely in the dark on when you go to pick up the other book. And they're not very good at writing for everyone's first issue. And what I mean by that is Stan Lee always had a saying, every comic is someone's first comic book. You need to be able to pick that comic book. You need to be able to pick that comic book up and know what's going on. And If you want to, you can check out the other ones. That'll make it make a little bit more sense. But that book itself should be able to be enjoyed on its own. And Marvel has completely given up on that model. They've given up on it for a while. But these books, you can't do that at all. You have to have been reading them, and it's bad. So they said about 58% of our X-Men subscribers have canceled their X-Book subscriptions in the past year. The majority of them subscribed to X-Books for 10 plus years. In addition, Gods is our lowest ordered Marvel first issue in the past 5 years, shown X Factor Annual number 5. And this is a little green Jean Grey grave here. At the same time, books that had similar subscription numbers, Saga and Something Is Killing the Children, saw a slight increase in subscriptions. People that were getting the trades are now getting the monthly releases because they don't have to wait. Saga's huge. Something Is Killing the Children. A lot of people are hyping that thing up. I haven't read Something Is Killing the Children. Read a little bit of Saga. It's okay. Everblue chimes in and says, you don't believe that the current market might be gearing towards trades versus monthly if the price value across Big Two persists? So it's hard to say. We can only speak for the sales at our two shops. We can sell a case of each of Saga and Something That's Killing the Children trades in a month, but monthly subscriptions are up for those titles too. We have had 0 requests orders for any X family trades this month. And I believe that this is a universal thing. This is not just two shops. This is probably mostly every shop. X-Men books, Marvel, all of those titles are in the toilet. They've been in the toilet for a while. The X books were doing okay for a minute. When this Krakoa run first started, it was seen as like a reboot. And when Jonathan Hickman was writing the first two, which was like Powers of X and something else, I forget. There was two of them. Those are really good. And I was wondering where it was going to go. And I started reading the run. And then you had all of these good books like Uncanny, X-Force, X-Men, Wolverine. And then you also had Marauders, Children of the Atom, all these shit books that you had to read to keep up with the other ones, and it was tiring, and I didn't want to read the shitty ones, so I dropped them. And now they've lost over half of their subscribers for it. Because Marvel does not give a shit about sales. They don't care about sales. They literally exist to make DLC for video games now. That's what this costume is right here. Miss Marvel was changed to a mutant to copy the MCU version. It's backwards now. This is bad for Marvel. This is like DC's not doing that good either. If you look at the sales charts for DC, like 75% of their sales are Batman books. Nobody cares about the other characters. You know, like I said in the last video today, One Piece dominating entertainment right now. And I guarantee you those One Piece volumes, the early volumes jump up. You know what that means, right? That means that's new people coming in to read the manga that have never read it before. Live action anime is going to do what live action comics never did. Make sales. Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just thought this was interesting. I mean, that's a huge drop. Almost 60% of people have dropped these books. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube, they'll definitely work over here. So come check out my locals.